Now I want to get into a story I've seen percolating in the headlines and social media. And that's about Heisman Trophy winner Travis Hunter and his fiancée, Lenee.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Travis Hunter.
And Leanna.
And we back with another
Video.
Travis Hunter, the NFL's golden rookie-to-be, is living what might just be every athlete's ultimate nightmare. We've seen heartbreak play out in public before, but this one hits with a brutality that feels almost staged for maximum damage. His wife, Leanna, the woman he's known since they were just teenagers dreaming of the big leagues, has not only left him, she's done it by stepping directly into the arms of a man who shares the same locker room. Yes, his own Jaguars teammate. In one stroke, the bonds of marriage, friendship, and professional brotherhood have been severed, leaving Travis standing in the wreckage with cameras in his face and headlines tearing him apart.
How do you deal with arguments or disagreements?
talk.
Yeah,
I was just about to say that one.
You was?
Yeah.
We just talk it out. We have to talk out everything. We give each other space.
First,
This wasn't some slow unraveling behind closed doors. No, the whole thing detonated right in the middle of Travis's rise to superstardom, when he should have been focused solely on proving himself in the league. We're talking about a man who just wrapped up a historic college career, claimed the Heisman, and was poised to become a #1 draft pick contender. Instead, he's now the main character in an emotional disaster that's playing out in front of millions. The betrayal is bad enough, but the timing? That's the part twisting the knife. Sources close to the Jaguars' locker room swear the engagement reveal was no coincidence. Leanna didn't simply post a ring selfie when the mood struck. This was calculated. The announcement dropped during one of Travis's high-profile charity appearances, a moment when his every move was being photographed and live-streamed. Fans saw him smiling, shaking hands, posing with donors, all while social media erupted with her new engagement photos. The effect was brutal. A split screen of triumph and humiliation, a public image crafted to perfection and then blindsided by betrayal. An insider described it as a premeditated strike designed to take his personal heartbreak and turn it into public spectacle. How long had this been brewing? That's the question ricocheting around every sports talk show and gossip blog right now.
Never post when y'all have problems.
Okay.
And be honest. Always.
Okay.
Always be honest.
I feel it. You got the ring on right now?
No, I don't.
You don't? Hey.
The speculation only deepens when we look at the pattern. This wasn't the first time Leanna's public moves seemed precisely timed for impact. We've seen the infamous Heisman night clip, the sideline frostiness after games, the carefully worded social media captions that fuel fan theories. The engagement stunt feels like the final, most theatrical flourish in a string of moments that left people asking whether we'd been watching the setup to a bigger betrayal all along. And now, there's an even darker rumor rippling through the conversation. One that could explain the almost surgical precision of her exit. Whispers of a secret pregnancy have exploded online, fueled by claims from people who say they've been in Leanna's inner circle, the implication that the man she's now engaged to, the one who also wears Jaguars colors, might be the father. It's the kind of rumor that would shatter even the strongest resolve, and if it's true, it adds a devastating twist to the timeline. Was Travis already being shut out of the truth while he was still gifting her luxury cars and defending her from online hate? Was the man who now calls her his fiancé standing across the line of scrimmage in practice while privately knowing the real reason for her cold withdrawal?
Maybe like 3-4 months in, we were like, okay, like we're falling in deep in love with each other. We fought we went through a phase where we fought like every single day for like a month.
For a guy who once described her as perfect in my eyes, this has to feel like having the ground ripped out from under him. We remember those early interviews? Him saying he'd do everything possible to make her the happiest woman alive, the wedding day Mercedes with the custom touches, the loyalty through months of fan backlash. And now, every public display of devotion is being replayed like a highlight reel of misplaced trust. His teammates are reportedly split between outrage and awkward silence, unsure how to navigate a situation that's equal parts soap opera and NFL workplace nightmare. The timing couldn't be worse for his career. Pre-draft evaluations are in full swing, with scouts watching everything from his game tape to his composure under pressure. And while his on-field talent is undeniable, every press conference, every locker room appearance is now overshadowed by questions about his personal life. Coaches hate distractions, and this is the kind that follows you into every city, every post-game interview, every sideline camera pan. What started as a private implosion has become a career narrative. And unless something shifts, it's a narrative that could cost him far more than pride.
You know, I just saw, who was that? Was it Ray J and Princess Love and somebody else he was seeing, and they posted all this stuff online. And it's like, really, is that really necessary?
You gotta know how to...
We've seen the toll already. Travis, once a constant on social media, vanished from Instagram entirely after the engagement bombshell. This isn't the first time he's gone dark. He's deactivated before when the online noise got too loud. But this time feels different. There's a heaviness in the way friends talk about him now, like they know the hurt runs deeper than any trolling. We've also noticed the subtle but telling absence of certain teammates from his side in public, a sign that locker room lines might already be forming. If the rumors about the pregnancy are even halfway true, those lines could harden into something far more permanent. And while fans are fiercely debating the details, one thing's undeniable: the optics are catastrophic. In a league that thrives on image, a rookie stepping into his first season, already carrying the baggage of a betrayal scandal, is not the story you want following you into every stadium. But that's exactly what's happening. Every camera that catches him on the sideline now invites speculation about whether he's looking across the field at his ex and her new fiancé, about what it must feel like to practice alongside the man she chose over him, about whether every dropped pass or missed tackle is weighed down by thoughts he can't shake.
Of course, we're going to discuss it because he is a celebrity. This is part of the news. People are going to talk about it, whether you want them to talk about it or not. You have to learn that you don't have to address everything.
Hardest part to watch is that Travis hasn't lashed out. There is no public fury, no tell-all interview, no scorched earth response, just a silence that feels heavier than any angry outburst could be. It's the quiet of someone absorbing hit after hit, still trying to stand tall in the middle of it all. The charity event smile, the post-game handshakes, the kept composure in front of the press. These are the survival tactics of a man trying to hold on to the only thing he can control right now, his own professionalism.
What are you doing? Leanna, what are you doing?
But behind the scenes, the questions keep multiplying. Who knew about this before it went public? Did any teammates try to warn him? And perhaps the most chilling, how many more blows are still to come before this chapter closes? We're not even certain if we've hit the deepest point of this story yet, because if the engagement post was a strike designed to humiliate, and the pregnancy rumor has any truth to it, then the fallout we've seen so far may be just the beginning of something far messier. For years, Leanna had crafted the image of the ever-supportive partner, the woman who stood by her man through the grind of college ball, the glare of the draft spotlight, and the early days of NFL life. She was the one posting heartfelt captions, the one in the stands wearing his jersey, the one smiling next to him at red carpet events. But now, that image is crumbling under the weight of new whispers. Leaked messages, said to have come from people in her own circle, hint at a very different reality. One where affection was calculated, loyalty was conditional, and control was the quiet currency. Former friends claim she was always the one setting the terms, deciding when and how the relationship played out in public. It's the kind of behind-the-scenes maneuvering that makes us wonder, was the fairy tale ever real, or was it just a performance for the cameras?
And you may be scaring some of them away with some of the things that you have on your personal life. Keep your personal, and then...
Fans, of course, have turned amateur detectives overnight. Old Instagram posts are being dissected like evidence from a crime scene. Who was she really smiling at in that sideline photo? Why did she unfollow certain accounts months before the engagement? And what about those cryptic captions that seemed sweet at the time but now read like subtle digs? Every archived story, every tagged location is being reinterpreted in the new light of betrayal. The most loyal supporters of the couple are now reluctantly admitting that maybe, just maybe, the signs were there all along, hiding in plain sight. And then there's the other man in this triangle, Travis's own teammate, now rumored to be Leanna's fiancé. His silence has been deafening. He hasn't denied anything, hasn't made a statement, hasn't so much as thrown a casual Instagram story into the fire. Inside sources claim he's been slipping out of team facilities through side exits, dodging reporters and keeping his head down during media days. Is that guilt, or is it self-preservation, an attempt to keep his name out of the headlines until the storm passes? Some say the quiet is a legal strategy. Others believe it's about avoiding the eyes of teammates who might not be as neutral as the coaching staff would like.
Why? Because you find people soft spot and you squeeze. That's the cruel world we're living in.
Behind the curtain of public silence, Travis's inner circle has become its own complex force in the unfolding drama. Those closest to him are moving quickly to protect him, but not all with the same strategy. Family members, old friends from his college days, and select teammates are reportedly coordinating to shield him from further public embarrassment. The intention is to keep him focused on his game and his upcoming rookie season, but the methods vary. Some want him to avoid the media entirely, while others believe a calculated public statement could reclaim the narrative before it spirals further out of his control. His mother, who has been one of his most vocal champions throughout his career, has stirred speculation with a string of cryptic social media posts. To some, these are messages of encouragement meant solely for him. To others, they are subtle jabs at those who betrayed his trust. The ambiguity has only fueled the online frenzy, with fans dissecting every word and emoji for hidden meaning. Her influence is significant, Travis has often leaned on her guidance in previous challenges, but this time the stakes are higher, and the family's tone could shape how the public perceives his next move.
She's not seeing him as a prize. She's seeing him as just a regular nigga. And the best way to lose a king is to try to treat a king like a regular nigga. Like, it would be like...
Among his friends, the split in advice is becoming more pronounced. The ones who have known him since high school are said to be urging caution, warning that a hasty reaction could harm both his emotional well-being and his career prospects. Meanwhile, newer acquaintances, particularly those from the professional sports and entertainment worlds, are encouraging a harder stance. They see this as an opportunity to show strength, even if that means going on the offensive, whether in the media, in the locker room, or in a courtroom. That tug-of-war between restraint and retaliation is said to be weighing heavily on him. Inside the Jaguars facility, support for Travis isn't as simple as a team-wide show of unity. Some teammates, especially those who bonded with him in training camp, have been making an effort to lift his spirits during practice and keep his head in the playbook. But with the other man in the alleged triangle sharing the same space, the atmosphere has grown tense. Efforts to shield Travis from direct conflict, whether by adjusting locker assignments or managing media access, are subtle but noticeable to those paying attention. Every move is a balancing act between maintaining professionalism and acknowledging the reality of strained relationships.
It was like, it was a weird area, and I just...
It was difficult living.
Even his agent and management team are playing a critical role, though their priorities are inevitably tied to business. They're focused on ensuring his marketability doesn't suffer, pushing for brand partnerships to see him as a valuable long-term investment rather than a headline risk. At the same time, they know that public sympathy could be a powerful tool if handled correctly. This blend of emotional support, strategic planning, and subtle pressure means that Travis is surrounded by voices, all with his best interests at heart, yet not all in agreement about how to get him through this intact. The question now is whether these competing influences will help him heal or push him toward a showdown that could define the next chapter of his life.
When you're dealing with Travis, you got to understand that he's the prize in the situation.
Because make no mistake, this scandal isn't just a personal drama, it's a locker room problem. We've heard whispers that some players are furious at the breach of trust, while others are choosing to steer clear of the mess entirely. One former team insider hinted that you can already feel the split. A handful quietly siding with Travis out of loyalty, others keeping the peace for the sake of the season, and then there are those who just want to win games and hope the tabloids burn themselves out before the headlines start affecting ticket sales. But with the NFL being the media machine it is, avoiding the fallout might be wishful thinking. The coaches are reportedly in a tight spot too. Publicly, they'll say it's not their business. Privately, they know that team chemistry can be fragile, and when you have two men tied to the same woman, the potential for that chemistry to implode is dangerously high. Will we see awkward exchanges on the sideline, missed high fives, or worse, a moment on the field when emotions override discipline? In a league where every yard matters, this kind of off-field tension could tip the balance in a close game.
How do you maintain such a healthy relationship?
Don't let social media be in your relationship.
Meanwhile, Leanna seems unbothered, or at least that's the impression her limited public appearances give. She's been spotted in designer looks, flashing that new engagement ring with a confidence that borders on defiance. To some, it reads as empowerment. To others, it's a taunt. The contrast between her current glow and Travis's public withdrawal is stark, and it's feeding the narrative that she's come out on top for now. But if the stories about a prenup battle are true, the victory lap might be short-lived. That's the part few are talking about openly yet, the money. When Travis married Leanna, he was on the brink of an NFL contract worth millions of dollars, endorsements waiting in the wings. If there's a prenup, it could determine exactly how much she walks away with, and if there isn't, well, that's when the lawyers start sharpening their knives. A few whispers from league-connected sources suggest that Travis's legal team is already digging not just into the timeline of the engagement, but into whether any misconduct could nullify her claims. If they find evidence that her relationship with the teammate started before the split, the legal game changes completely.
Yeah.
You know, that's they gotta just figure that out. That's their business, you feel me? And yeah, it is hard.
Yeah.
I know, it'd be tough.
Imagine the depositions, the subpoenas, the possibility of teammates being called to testify about what they saw and when. This wouldn't just be a divorce, it would be a media circus with front row seats for every sports blogger in the country. And while Travis has kept his public demeanor tight-lipped and composed, insiders insist he's not just licking his wounds, he's quietly planning his counterplay. Whether that's in court, in the press, or both, is anyone's guess. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about love lost, it's about reputation, career trajectory, and the brutal reality that in the NFL, perception can shape opportunity just as much as performance. Sponsors don't like mess. Franchises don't like distraction. And rookies, they can't afford to be known for the wrong headlines before they've even played a full season. Travis is standing at a crossroads, and whichever path he takes will set the tone for the rest of his career. And so we're left with the questions that keep the gossip mill grinding. Will he confront them both publicly? Will the teammates stay silent? Or will pressure from inside the organization force him to speak? Could this all end in a court battle that exposes more than anyone is ready to hear? Or will Travis decide to turn the page, rebuild his image, and let the league and the public forget? One thing we know for sure, this saga has all the ingredients of an NFL scandal for the ages. So what do you think? Should Travis go to war or should he walk away? Until the next twist drops, stay sharp, stay watching, and we'll see you soon.